What is up, guys? Player One Gaming here, and today I'm going to be doing my Ohio State football prediction video. Now, I've already done a Michigan prediction video back in February, so not that long ago. Um, so if you want to go see that first and then come here, you can. I'm going to be doing all the Big Ten teams. So if you want to, and this is only the second one, so if you want to see all of them, subscribe to this channel. I post college football videos, not every day of the year, but I will post all year, especially around football season. I talk a lot about the Big Ten. I talk a lot on Michigan because that's my team. So if you like any of those things, I also talk a little bit about the other teams in college football, and I also talk a little NFL. So if you like any of that stuff, if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel because I'm trying to grow, and I want to do this more now. I want to be more dedicated to the channel, and I feel like I've said that before, but let's do this prediction video here for Ohio State. So what did Ohio State do last year? They went undefeated in regular season, dominated all the way through under Justin Fields, and um, the defense, which was one of the best I've seen when it comes to defenses. They were probably the best defense in college football in 2019. Um, they lost Urban Meyer. It didn't matter at all. Ryan Day brought them to an undefeated season. They ended up losing in a close one to Clemson in the semifinals. But they dominated all the way through the regular season. They dominated in the Big Ten championship, and they did what they had to do, and they were very close to a national title. But that was always going to be LSU. So, it wasn't going to matter even if they made it. But Ohio State has been very consistently good every year. So, and I don't see that being any different this year. So let's go through these predictions and what I would say is a little bit easier of a schedule this year. All right. So, first game is Bowling Green. Now, Bowling Green went 3-9 last year. They went 0-6 on the road. They lost to Buffalo by a lot. They lost to Notre Dame by a lot. They're not a good team. Ohio State gets it, at home. Obvious win here for Ohio State, dominating. Oregon. Now, Oregon, this is at Oregon too, in the second week of the season. Oregon is very good. They were very good in 2019. They almost made the playoffs. They came very close. They weren't as good as Ohio State, and they're not going to be as good as Ohio State this year. They lose Justin Herbert, their quarterback. It's just I don't think that Oregon will be as good in 2020. I mean, I've been wrong before, but losing someone like Justin Herbert to the draft, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. So, if they still had, even if they had all the players from 2019, I would say it would be close. Ohio State's gonna get the win, and that's what I'm gonna go with right now. Ohio State is gonna win this game. It'll hopefully be close. Hopefully it's a night game too. That'd be good. That'd be a really interesting night game. I don't think that Ohio State will lose it, but I think it'll be a shootout. It'll be a close one. Something that they haven't had in regular season for a little bit. So I'm gonna go with a win here for Ohio State. It'll be 2-0. Buffalo. They're better than Bowling Green, but yeah, it's not gonna happen. They lost. Didn't Buffalo lose to like Miami something? Miami of Ohio, and then didn't Ohio State beat Miami of Ohio like 76-5 or something, like some weird score? I believe so. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ohio State here. Rutgers at home. Alright, so it doesn't matter that they've got Greg Schiano back. They're not going to be good for a while, especially in the Big Ten, and especially in the Big Ten East, which is a very tough division, very tough conference. You're not just gonna go in first year start pulling 10-win seasons out of your hat, you know. So it's not gonna happen. I would say for quite a few years where Rutgers can get to a point where they're not the worst team, but they're middle of the road. Someday they could be, you know, I would say in a few years Rutgers could be a what's a middle of the road team in the Big Ten? Like Michigan. No, not Michigan. Michigan's one of the upper teams, but they're not elite. Like Michigan State. They can be somewhere around there. And I think they would be happy with that, honestly. Um, but until that happens, and even then, Ohio State won't lose to Rutgers. Um, it's a win here. I don't remember the last time I predicted Rutgers to win a Big Ten game. I didn't do it last year, and I ended up being right on my predictions. They went 2-10, I believe. Yes, 2-10. So, you know, Rutgers, I have hope for them in the future, but for right now, they're going to remain the punching bag of the Big Ten. Win for Ohio State here, and 4-0. And then after that, they get a bye week, so that's good for them. Iowa, again, another home game. They got a lot of home games um, in the first 5 weeks. So, I mean, the first 5 weeks, they've got one road game and just another bye week. So, yeah. Iowa, if you remember 2017, uh, dominated Ohio State. And I believe that was in Iowa City. Um, it won't be like that this year. Now, Iowa is, I should have used Iowa as an example. Iowa is that middle of the road team. They can beat up on the lower tier teams pretty good, but when they have play, you know, even upper teams, they struggle. They can probably pull out a win, but if they play a team like Ohio State or Penn State, they're not winning. Although they did come close to beating Penn State, I believe so. Um, they're just not good enough for that, and they're not going to be good enough again this year to beat Ohio State. So another win for Ohio State. They're 5-0. What else is new? At Michigan State. It's not going to be it's not going to be like other years for Michigan State where they can pull out a win somehow or they can get really close. I really believe, you know, Michigan State is going down the drain right now. And I know the last time I said that, I made some people angry. Um, but it's true. I mean, you lose your starting quarterback in Brian Lewerke. Your defense is losing key starters, you know, key contributors to 2019 season. You lost Mark D'Antonio. You didn't have the greatest recruiting class. It's just a whole bunch of different things. And the fact that you're in the Big Ten and you know you can't fall behind in the Big Ten, or it'll be very hard to get back to, you know, being really good. Michigan State is not going to be um, a very great team. I would be shocked if they won more than 7 games, honestly. Um, but you know, we will see. I don't personally think Ohio State will be as good in 2020 than they were in 2019. But that's not saying much since they were a playoff team. You know, you're not always, you know, most of the time you won't be able to outdo what you did the year before, especially when you lose players and you've got new guys coming in. So, um, Ohio State is still much better than Michigan State, even in 2020. So, nothing will change here. It'll probably be a pretty dominant win. I don't know. I can see a 35-14 win, 35-10 maybe. That would be pretty dominant right there. I'm gonna go with the win here, and I'll do a Michigan State video soon. But realize I'm not hating on Michigan State because I'm a Michigan fan. I'm being honest with you, and I would never lie. You know, I would never try and say, oh, they're bad just because I don't like them. I mean, I'm a Michigan fan. I hate Ohio State, but I'm acknowledging that they're really, really good, and not a lot of teams can beat them. So, I'm just being honest here. But yeah, win here for Ohio State in pretty dominant fashion. What are they now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-0. So they've already clinched a bowl game at this point. Now, Penn State. Penn State's going to be very good in 2020. They're going to be very good. This is on the road for Ohio State. I mean, they lose. They're losing their quarterback, yes, but they've got a very good offense. Their offense is going to be very good. Defense is going to be very good. This is likely. I mean, this is on the road for Ohio State. It's likely going to be a night game, a whiteout. And you know how tough that environment is. Not a lot of teams come out with a win. Most of the time, the road team does not win in a whiteout night game in Happy Valley. It just doesn't happen very often at all. And I think Penn State. Penn State surprised me personally in 2019. I didn't think they'd be as good as they were, although they were sort of a disappointing top 10 team. They were a top 10 team. And I think that they'll be even better in 2020. So I'm gonna give Penn State the win. Now I can change my mind as soon as week 1 starts and we get to see these teams play, and I'll be like, okay, never mind. But for right now, I'm giving this one to Penn State by very slim amount. It's going to be very close. It'll be a shootout. Hopefully, it's a really great game. And yeah, I think Penn State's going to get the win here. So yeah, Penn State wins. I might regret that decision later, but I'm going to give them a win here. And a first regular season loss for Ohio State since, Iowa in 2018? So, yeah, Penn State, I'm going to give them a win on October 24th. Nebraska. I'm not going to make the same mistake I did last year with Nebraska. I had them doing way better than what they really did. There was a lot of hype around Nebraska. I'm not going to make that same mistake again. I predicted them to win 9 games. I was very obviously way off. They were not as good, although they did show towards the end of the season that they, were the team that they really could be. I do think they will improve again, but I do not think that they will be anywhere close to Ohio State level. They won't be on Penn State level. They won't be on Iowa level. They won't be on Michigan level. It just won't happen. They could be at Michigan State level or higher. I think they will improve, but it's not going to be, it's not. But it's going to be a cakewalk for Ohio State, is what I'm saying. I'm going to say they get the win here. For Ohio State will get the win here. Indiana. When was the last time Ohio State lost to Indiana? I'll wait. Just trying to think of it. You can't think of it. I don't know. I don't even remember the last time Indiana has beaten Ohio State. I don't think it's happened at all in my life. And this year won't be any different. Indiana will not beat Ohio State. They won't come close. Although Indiana is getting better, I don't want to say that they're bad. They are getting better. They're improving, but they're not going to beat Ohio State. It's not going to happen. So I'm giving the win here to Ohio State. Maryland, this is a win here for Ohio State. Other than a new wide receiver Maryland got, and they're probably going to play right away. I don't think Ohio State is going to have any trouble here. Win. Illinois. Illinois, man, I don't know where they're gonna be. I feel like they're gonna get worse. I don't know. They had a surprisingly decent year, I guess you could say, for than usual. Pretty average season for Illinois, or did a little bit better for an Illinois team. Obviously, they weren't a good team at all, but they were a little bit better than expected. I would say so, but again, not Ohio State level. Ohio State wins here. And finally, the game, and I'm using air quotes there for the game, um, sarcastic air quotes. It's not really game anymore. It's just sort of a slaughtering. It's murder. It's murder. It's basically murder. It's a free win for Ohio State, and it's embarrassment for Michigan and Michigan fans. I'm not gonna rant on it too much. Um, but if you saw my Michigan prediction video, you know exactly how I feel about this game. And if you've watched my 2018, or not my 2018, my 2019 Michigan prediction video, you know that I said I'm never going to predict Michigan to beat Ohio State ever again, because even at the beginning of the 2018 season, I said Ohio State's going to win. And the week before that game in 2018, I said I'm giving Michigan the win here. I'm going to change my mind and give them the win in against Ohio State. Michigan was favored to win that game, and Ohio State came in and completely dominated, completely embarrassed Michigan and Michigan fans. And from that point on, I said I would never predict Michigan to beat Ohio State again until they prove they can do it more than once every 10 years. So you know exactly what I'm going with here. Ohio State wins, goes 11-1, likely will go to the Big Ten championship, if not Penn State. I do think in the end Ohio State will go back to the Big Ten championship and probably play, Wisconsin, probably. It'll probably be exactly the same. But yeah, that's what I'm going with here for Ohio State to finish 11-1. Very easily could go 12-0. We never know. I think if they can get past Oregon and Penn State, they're going to go undefeated. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you want more of this, and I'll see you guys next time.